Hey guys, Personal Defense, and today I have in front of us a Charter Arms Undercover 38 Special Snub Nose Revolver. Alright, so I borrowed this from a coworker, and it's actually a female coworker. She likes it a lot. It's a little light, 38 Special. Let me just show you that it's unloaded here. Charter Arms makes a lot of different versions of this particular revolver, and I think there's like, just in the 38 Special, I think there's 10 or 15. They make all sorts of different configurations. If you've ever spent any time whatsoever on the internet or gun shops or whatever, looking for a somewhat cheaper snub nose revolver, you're sure to have seen this thing, the Charter Arms. And you can see here it says Undercover right there on the barrel, and it said 38 Special, and the other side says Charter 2000 Shelton, Connecticut, I assume. CONN. That's Connecticut, right? Huh. So the company Charter Arms has actually been around for a long time, since 1964. And but if you like follow serial killers or whatever, Son of Sam used a Charter Arms, I think a 44 Special or a 41 Special, something like that. That's what he was using to kill people. So that's actually where I first heard of Charter Arms. This gun only weighs 16 ounces, which it feels really light in my hand. The only thing I have to compare it to is the LCR, and that LCR 357 weighed 17.2 ounces, I believe. And the LCR chambered in 38 Special was like 13 ounces. So the LCR in 38 Special was a little bit lighter than this thing, but the actual LCR that I had in my possession was 1 ounce, a little bit over an ounce heavier than this. Charter Arms went bankrupt in the 1990s, but they were resurrected in the 21st century by Charter 2000. As you can see, that was on the other side of this barrel. It said Charter 2000. This thing is a 5-shot. And I checked it, the speed loader from the LCR works on this, so the cylinder is about the same size as the LCR 5-shot cylinder. So this particular one, the Undercover 38 Special, it's got a stainless finish, which is like a matte or satin finish almost, and it looks very similar to my Taurus stainless finish that I have here. It has the the transfer bar safety, and weighs 16 ounces, like I said. And it says on Charter Arms' website, suggested retail is $331, which I think I've actually seen these for like $289, $280. It's very, very light. It's almost so light that it feels kind of cheap to me. You know what? Honestly, I thought it was aluminum, or I thought it had a lot of aluminum parts in it, maybe an aluminum frame. With like a stainless steel cylinder and a stainless steel barrel. That's what it felt like to me, but apparently, according to the website, it's all stainless steel. There's a couple things I noticed about this as I was handling it today. Check out this trigger pull. Let me just show you. It's empty. In single action, look at this. That hammer comes all the way back here, which is kind of funny, because usually, I don't know, it's just kind of strange to me, because usually the hammer just, will come back to like right there or something. It's just kind of funny that it comes all the way back there like that. But when you fire it in double action, it breaks right there. So it's quite a ways away from right here. It's not something bad, it's just something that I noticed about it. And it just looks kind of funny when it does that, having it all the way back there. Another thing I noticed is it has, a fixed ramp front sight with no texture or anything. It's just a smooth ramp style sight with like a fixed rear sight. But check this out, I was looking at it. The sight picture here, when you try and sight it with the hammer up, it's kind of hard to see. See, when I get the front sight with the rear sights there, it's kind of hard to see if you're going to do like a double action shot. With the hammer back, it's a much better sight picture. So I don't know what that's about. That's kind of not that cool, I don't think. Here I have my Model 10 that I just recently acquired. You can see with the hammer up here, it's kind of easy to get a sight picture because it's so much farther down. Whereas this one, the hammer kind of rides high. Substantial weight difference between this one and this Charter Arms. Another thing I noticed, and I don't really care for, is the crane here. You can see how small it is when it comes out. And the way this is held together is a lot different than what I'm used to from like the Taurus or the Smith & Wesson. Just the whole construction of this thing is different. But anyway, it's very small and it's not very strong. And look at this. It moves all over the place. Left and right, up and down. It just kind of makes me feel like it would break easily. Whereas something like the Smith & Wesson here, you can see how much thicker that is. Of course, this weighs a lot more, but it's just more reinforced. This ejection rod is kind of interesting. So you push that down to right there, see, and it'll go to there, and then you can push that down to get it all the way. So that's a little interesting. Putting the cylinder back in, I mean, it's kind of weird. If you follow proper revolver etiquette and you push it in by the crane here, like that, and then index it, it works fine. But most people are probably going to push it in, by here, and then it kind of, if you watch from the top here, I was noticing if you push it in like that, see how it sticks out too far to the one side? Then you kind of have to center it, and then it'll go in. So I don't know if it's because this the crane is designed like that. It just seems like maybe possibly you could bend it out of spec kind of easily. I'm not sure. You can kind of tell where they cut corners and stuff to keep this fairly inexpensive. The trigger pull is very heavy. In double action, I want to say it's 14 pounds maybe. It's a very, very heavy trigger pull. It's not the smoothest trigger pull. One of the things I noticed in single action here, let me see if I can get it to do it. Hear that? I don't know if there's something wrong with the sear or what's going on with that, but it's when you barely push it, it's got a little like divot, and the hammer and the trigger slightly move to that. Then the single action pull, it feels to me, it's not the lightest pull in the world. It might feel like 3 pounds. It's definitely heavier than any other revolver I've got in single action. I mean, the Model 10 even that I have, that's a pretty factory / stock trigger, and it feels much lighter. And the double action pull on the Model 10 is much more smooth. That being said, this isn't a Smith & Wesson quality revolver. If you're looking for something, my thing is how can you screw up a revolver, right? So if you're looking for something that maybe you want to carry as a backup gun, or even if you want to conceal carry this thing, it's nice and small, it's nice and light. You could carry it all day, and I doubt you would even feel it. 5 shots of 38 Special. It is rated for plus P, so you could carry 5 shots of 38 Special plus P. Maybe some speed loaders on you. I think it's a great little revolver for that purpose. As far as the quality goes, like I said, it's not a Smith & Wesson quality revolver. The only other revolver I've seen at this price point is the Arms Core. And I don't know if you've seen that revolver, the Arms Core 38 Special revolver. It looks similar to a Smith & Wesson one. I saw one at a gun show and kind of handled it. It looks like it has wooden handles, but they're actually plastic. and just the metal all over the frame and everything. It just looks like crap. It looks like they rushed through making it, and I think it's like $190, $180. So it really looks like a $180 revolver. If I didn't want to spend less, or if I wanted to spend less than $300, I would definitely get one of these Charter Arms, because they make it, like I said, in all kinds of different colors and configurations, and they just look cool. I just want to show you some of the build quality that I'm talking about here. The finish is not bad. Let's see if I can focus in on it here. But you can see where the barrel there meets the top ridge. See how it's kind of burred up, or it's not completely smooth. Stuff like that is what I'm talking about. Down at the bottom here, the underlug, you can see it's not completely smooth. It's kind of dented up. The trigger guard, you can see on this side where the barrel meets the frame there, the underleg meets the frame, you can see it's not completely smooth. So you can see they did, right there you can see it real good. You can see they did, try and make this polished and looking good, but I think to cut time and costs, they did it quickly. This is the Charter Arms Undercover 38 Special Snub Nose Revolver 2-inch barrel. I think it's a great little revolver for under $300. If you again, like my Model 10, my police trade-in, if you're looking to get into a revolver, don't want to spend $500, $600 for something, this is probably a good entry point for you, and you could probably get your money out of it if you really wanted to sell it. So, thanks for watching.